been a wild weekend for most of us on the East Coast as we've faced storms all the way from down south to up north, and I hope everybody fared okay. But welcome back, crew, to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Every time we get out there on the water, we're not 100% sure what to expect, especially when we get out there with the boys, heading out to enjoy a day, fishing, going out, trying to catch some tail and have some fun. But sometimes that fun will get taken a little too far or go a little sideways depending on what everybody's doing, kind of like we see right here. Now, fortunately in this situation, our guy's okay, and the boys continue fishing with all the lines on roll right here, which is pretty wild. He even decides to go back and get his hat and make sure everything's taken care of. But you always got to remember, when you're out there fishing, possibly chumming the waters a little bit, and you got fish on lines, you got to be a little cautious, because there are some other things out there in the water you got to worry about.
He's a monster, dude!
As you can see from this scene, when you're out there chumming the water and catching some fish, things can go wrong quickly. Things go wrong in this scene as well, but I can't really tell what. It looks like they're trying to put a fire out, but I don't see a fire going on at all. I mean, this kind of seems like the hard way. If there's a small fire going on the boat, they should just get on the boat with the fire extinguisher and get it extinguished. And speaking of doing things the hard way, sometimes when we start doing things in our boating lifestyle, we'll do them the hard way for whatever various reasons. Kind of like our guy here, who's decided he's going to try and manually load this boat instead of powering it on or instead of winching it on. Now, when I say doing things the hard way in boating, that can actually probably mean a couple different things. One way is what we just saw, where you're not necessarily taking the path of least resistance, or doing something in boating the easiest way. Now, another way of doing something the hard way in boating is, well, going out there, trying to get the boat loaded on the trailer, and doing it the hard way by actually hitting something hard. Now, typically when you think about hitting something hard with a boat, the trailer is not necessarily what you think about. Typically you think about hitting the dock hard with the boat, but it's not always the boat that hits the dock. Sometimes it's somebody on the boat that hits the dock hard. Speaking of hard in boating, the boat ramps come to mind all the time because for whatever reason, people tend to have a hard time down there. Whether it's trying to get the boat on the trailer or sometimes just trying to get the truck off the dock, people can really struggle down at the boat ramp. Now this one dumbfounds me a little bit. There's some sort of trailer under this thing, but who in the world would buy a trailer that small with the tunes only dragging a few inches off the ground? As you can hear, it's just grinding the whole way. And speaking of grinding the whole way, I'm just guessing these guys grinded the whole way as well as that boat came off the trailer. And this crew right here has found themselves in a world of hurt. They're in one of the worst spots you can be in, and that's going to be in the breakwater when you're out there boating. Now, sometimes hitting things a little too hard or a little too fast in boating, they're bad. Other times you wish you would have done it. Kind of like this crew here. All they're probably thinking right now is, man, we should have turned around, went back and hit the dock hard a whole lot sooner than this. At this point, it's just a little bit too late. Now, of course, this situation is a tough one because it's such a close call. This crew almost made it back to the dock just in the nick of time to try and get this thing pulled up onto a ramp or something where they possibly could have saved the boat. Instead, it winds up going wrong and it winds up sinking right at the dock. Of course, as I mentioned, they probably wish they would have hit the dock a little faster and a little harder to make sure that they were successful. But our next guy here, he wishes he wouldn't have hit the dock at all. Somehow he winds up sticking the throttle and going ahead and jamming it right under. Now, of course, sometimes people act like it's a race, and that's where things will go wrong, but that's just it. Things go wrong in racing. When you get out there on the water and you start moving too fast and trying to hit it too hard, things just don't always go your way. As they always mention, never approach anything any faster than you're willing to hit it. Well, some of these speedboats are doing upwards of close to 200 miles an hour, and of course that means it's a little harder for them. When they wind up hitting things, things go wrong, and it's on an escalated level. Now, sometimes they'll hit other boats, sometimes they'll just hit waves, and then of course sometimes they'll hit things like us. They'll take out a buoy while they're out there on their way. Now, of course, there are many different forms of boat racing, but somebody needs to let me know what form this is. Is this like boat hurdles? I'm not 100% sure, but I'll tell you what, this little thing is absolutely ripping out there. One thing that's small and isn't ripping is our next guy's boat. How much weight does he have in this thing? And he's gotta be overloaded. I wonder if he ever actually made it where he was going, because that's a pretty dangerous little setup right there. And speaking of dangerous little setups, somebody needs to let me know how this kayaker got this close to the sub. I've actually come out of Fort Lauderdale several times, and there have been subs coming in when I was going out, and every single time when I got even within a mile of that sub, I was chased down by a military boat saying there was a sub in the area and I needed to go like 2 miles north. Speaking of places you shouldn't be in, anytime you're going to go out there and leave the boat on the hook and go ahead and head in for the day, always make sure, 1, check the tides, 2, make sure you're docked in the correct spot, because if you don't check both of those, you may come back and find out your boat wasn't in a good spot at all, kind of like this crew found out when they got back and found their sailboat looking like this. Now, this one I actually need some help with. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on in this scene. Obviously, we see them toss the big hook off the back. The line winds up snagging, now more lines feeding out. Now, the only part of this I do understand is basically, I guess it's a game of some kind called See If You Cannot Lose Your Hand. How this guy winds up pulling this one off is absolutely beyond me, but I don't understand the purpose of it. Let me know in the comments if you know exactly what they're doing in this scene. Now, of course, I've heard the old saying, being up creek without a paddle, and right here in this scene, it appears that kind of applies, but it's more like being up creek or down creek without a boat. But man, that's got to be a rough one, because it looks like this crew's in the middle of nowhere as this boat winds up going down. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like King Triton Charters, IR Ventures, Martella Abreast, and Adam Coolidge did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.